Chuck is just pounding homework right now.
Is the sound on that thing?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
My cohort and I are catching a plane to Indianapolis, Indiana, to attend the Geological Society of America conference. We're going there to present a poster on the research we performed over the summer as part of the Geobridge program, a program designed to transition geoscience majors from Linn-Benton Community College to Oregon State University, while providing them with lab and fieldwork experience. The path that led us to attending the conference began many months ago at Linn-Benton Community College in the geology classroom of Darren Carter.
A lot of community college students are place-bound, meaning that they can't travel. They don't, maybe they have kids or, responsibilities with their family. They might be a primary caregiver of someone in their family. And so that they can't really travel to a place for an entire 10 weeks. They can't go to Washington, D.C. or wherever, some other university that might be hosting a research program. And so this program really allows them to to support these students that are place-based in the Willamette, this part of the Willamette Valley here, and can commute to OSU and come back and still have a comparable experience that someone else who flies halfway across the country for 10 weeks is having as well.
Okay, let's cover this together here. So if we're going from magma to igneous rock, what's a verb somebody came up with?
Rather than students are kind of working and paired with a individual advisor, like in a traditional undergraduate research experience or REU, we thought about testing this model where all the students work together kind of as a cohort in this cohort style of learning model, because a lot of research shows, learning's it's very much a social process.
I actually did not intend on being a geology student, and I didn't know about the Geobridge program before I ever started school. I was approached after taking my third geology class just on a whim. 3 geology classes in, and I was still like, oh wow, this is kind of a cool hobby. Still in anthropology. But Professor Carter, my geology teacher, convinced me. He approached me outside of class and said, you would be a great fit for this program that I am pioneering with a professor at OSU, Professor Sean Da Silva, and we'd like you to put in an application.
I knew I wanted to study geology, and I had interest in doing research, but I had absolutely no idea how to get involved. And honestly, until Darren approached me with the Geobridge project, I didn't think that was a reality for me.
The thing about the program is you're able to take people who were community college students, transferring to a university. We haven't even spent the first 2 years of our undergrad in a new place. And you're taking these people who may not have seen so much opportunity or maybe not had so much opportunity presented to them, and you're able to take them and place them directly into a great opportunity with people that want to help them, and that's very unique. You don't get to do that a lot in a lot of situations and places, and being able to do that with a whole group of people is pretty awesome.
While Darren is responsible for recruiting a cohort for Geobridge at Linn-Benton Community College, at Oregon State University, in the College of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Sciences, paid summer research for the incoming students is organized by Professor Sean Da Silva.
Yeah, so once the students are recruited into the program, the biggest task is finding mentors for them, and in particular a mentored research project. So my role here at OSU is trying to convince my colleagues here who have labs to take on students for a summer.
The colleagues Sean found were Brian Haley, an associate professor of senior research, and Chris Russo, lab manager for the Keck Collaboratory for Plasma Spectrometry, also known as the Keck Lab.
Geobridge is good in a number of ways. One of the ways it's good is that it brings to us young students who are keen, and they are vested in learning for an extended period of time, and we have Geobridge students for an extended period of time, and we can try and do some real research. It's often hard in other avenues to get that kind of dedication and longevity of students, especially students, because it's inherently a transient situation for them, to give that kind of investment into a project that we can really do some real cutting edge science. So we love programs like Geobridge.
Are we running 10 PV or 20?
10. 20 for thorium, 10 for uranium. Because we figured that since we ran 10 ppb last time, we wanted to be consistent.
Okay.
So,
shoot, we're getting good data.
Yeah.
Did you get that? We're getting good data.
If you have a full-time job in the summer, then you can focus on that full-time job. So this provides a full-time experience, and you're paid to do sort of 40 hours work. So we found that that's a key part of keeping people in this program and keeping them engaged in the summer.
I didn't expect to learn so much so quickly. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. And I realized that, I kind of thought like, oh, this is something that is out of my reach. Like I'm going to fall on my face when I walk in here immediately. And it wasn't, and that surprised me, to tell you the truth. So a lot to learn, humbling experience, but achievable.
Later in the summer, as the lab work progressed, the cohort took 3 days off to travel to Mitchell, Oregon, where our program heads and peer mentors taught us the basics of field geology.
I mean, it was really difficult. It was super hot, but it was fun and it was beautiful, and it was cool just to be able to be outside and doing work, but then like look up and then have this awesome Mitchell, Oregon in front of you, it was really exciting.
How was going out in the field first time, like walking around doing the geologic mapping?
Sick. Yeah, because I'm sorry, do you want a different answer?
No.
Okay.
Answer how you like.
Yeah, it was amazing. So essentially, not only do you have to apply that mental application like you do in the lab, but you also have to do something physically now too, and that was really cool to be able to do both. But another good part of it was you're doing that mental application in a beautiful place.
As summer drew to a close, the Geobridge lab work ended, and it turned out that we had collected enough data to present a poster at the Geological Society of America Conference, or GSA. Our cohort constructed a poster and set off for Indianapolis, accompanied by our peer mentor, Sarah, who was also presenting a poster on her own research. Our destination, the Indiana Convention Center.
How far is your hotel?
It was awesome to see everyone else's posters, but then it was also just really cool to have people come up to us and then have them be just like they seemed just as excited as we were about our project, which was pretty cool. And it was cool to see them be like, oh, we could have used that when I was doing my PhD, and we're like, oh, well, now we have the methodology to do so, which is really cool.
We got to meet friends of our professor who were anxious to hear not only about what the research we were doing, but also about the program itself and who we were. And it was really interesting to get to talk with other students who were curious about what we'd been doing, and they'd been doing similar projects as well.
Something I learned is that, everyone's doing a bunch of research, but you are the expert in your project. There's no one else that's an expert in what you're doing, and that's what a poster presentation is. It's just sharing what you know, and then people giving you advice, and that was huge for me. I learned so much from just talking to people and talking to, experts in what I'm studying, and it's really changed the way that I view my project.
Once our poster presentation was completed, we were free to enjoy the many exhibitions, booths, and talks at the conference during our remaining 2 days in Indianapolis. By the time we left, we had seen a lot, but still only a small fraction of what GSA had to offer, and each of us returned to Oregon State with our own ideas about the way we wanted to take our future in geology.
Yeah, the world changed in the course of a summer. I can say that with confidence. My world changed over the course of a summer. I I gained a lot of confidence in some areas. I had a lot of awakenings in others, and it exceeded expectations. I guess, like I said, I had good expectations, but not like anything set in stone. And it blew me out of the water, to tell you the truth.
It was just hugely helpful in my academia, like just because now I'm just so much more motivated and I'm so much more confident in my career. And I think that's something that a lot of people start their undergrad as like not quite sure where they want to head, and it's bound to happen. It's kind of hard to know where you want to go if you're like 20, 21, 20, but and I think that helped me to figure out my goals in life, which was really helpful. And I think that's something that anyone can use, really. But then also just having that lab experience and that field experience is helpful in your classes as well as your future career.
As a learning disabled student, my confidence has always been very shaky when it comes to academic success, especially in long-term plans. I mean, people with my specific disabilities, the statistics of people who actually attempt higher education is about 12%. And the people who actually make it through with any kind of degree at all, 4-year or no, is in the single digits. So Geobridge has given me not only the confidence to try and just make it through the system, just give it a shot, pursue something that I enjoy for 5, 6, 7 years, however long it takes, but also the confidence that I can do it. I'm going to be in that percentage.